Hey everyone, so today we have Return of the Jedi Vibro Axe. So this one is made from some vintage parts, and of course some machined parts, and some, um, well, that's what it's made of. Anyway, uh, so we start off with the Supermax hair dryer. So this is a vintage hair dryer that you can find on eBay here and there. Not super hard to find, but they show up once in a while, and I don't know how much they cost. This kit was sent to me by the guy who wanted it put together. He bought two kits. One of them had a bunch of inaccurate parts and stuff like that, and then we found another kit that had some better parts, and most importantly, the aluminum blade. Now these blades, there's a guy in the RPF who does these blades, and they're pretty expensive, but they're pretty hard to make as well. So the price is kind of justified. It's just, but it is a solid aluminum blade, and it's attached to this pole. So this pole, also this pole was kind of hard to find the right size as well. It's a little bit bigger than a 1-inch pole, and this is aluminum rather than steel, so that way it's easier to work with and lighter. But it's about 1.2 inches in outer diameter, and then of course you have this coupler here. You have a Vader rod. This is a machined Vader rod. You have some corrugated tubing that's really difficult to work with, which has some rubber tape on it. You have this part might be hard to find for some people. This is the speaker box for a toy blaster, the toy Han Solo blaster. And then of course you have the Super Soaker filter down here. So the main part is of course the hair dryer, the Vader rod, the blade, the little Yamaha greavely that goes on there. And this part in particular is vintage, is very hard to find. I don't remember what it's actually called, but this connector here is ridiculously hard to find. And there are many out there, but the correct one is hard to find. These bits were machined. They came in part of the kit machined, so I don't know if their found parts were machined specifically for this. I don't know the origin of those parts, but and of course this little thing here is machined. Now the rod, the bent aluminum rod, is actually one of the kits came with some steel rod. There was just no way possible to bend that stuff. It wasn't just mild steel. It was it was like stainless steel. It was going to be very difficult to bend and to fit. So what I ended up using was modeling wire, some 5mm modeling wire, which is very easy to bend. And also bending these, it's hard to get it right the first time. So bending it, I ended up with a lot of scrap. So I went through a lot of material to get the bends right and everything. But in the end, we got there, and it looks great. So it's all metal and vintage plastic parts, and this is a cast. This Yamaha thing is cast, but it's a great cast. It's perfect, and so that's it. It's really cool once it's done, and the blade itself is very sharp. The pointing bit is sharp. This part would probably hurt somebody if you hit him with it. But oh, the other thing I did was I machined down a wooden dowel. I don't know how far it goes down, but it goes down far enough to where it adds support. So when I drilled through the metal pole to keep the blade on, it wouldn't crush the tube. And of course, I made an adapter for this as well. So this is held on also by the Vader rod that's going into that wooden adapter. So yeah, pretty straightforward, but very cool. The screen used ones were they look like they're just painted gray or matte black, and like a gunmetal looking, but it's really hard to tell what they actually look like, what paint they actually use, because they're pretty weathered over time. But this is it. So here is the Vibro Axe. Very cool prop. Awkward to handle because it's kind of top heavy, and it's going to be awkward to ship. But hopefully we can pack it well, and it'll make it there in one piece. So, but everything's pretty solid. should be good to go. The rattling you hear is just this connector, which is this part just spins. But anyway, pretty neat prop. All right, thanks for watching.